And we are doing the third day of our review sheets. Yay! The first thing that I notice on 3 is that I have a greatest common factor. Shh. All of these are divisible by 2, and what exponent can I take out? Third. Okay, when I divide, I'm left with 9y squared plus 15y minus 5. Now this looks like a slip and slide problem now. If I were to take the 9 off, and put it over there to the 5, that makes a 45. Can you think of something that multiplies to give me 45 and adds to give me 15? Guess what? There's not anything. So that means that this is your final answer. Number 7. The first thing I need to do here is take out a greatest common factor. They're all divisible by 3 and an x. I'm going to put a 3 and an x. That leaves me with 6x squared plus 7x plus 2. Now I'm going to try to do slip and slide. Take the 6, move it over, and don't forget to do what? Slide. That's y'all's worst thing is you keep forgetting to slide. So then that gives me 3x, x plus 7x plus 12. I'm going to come up here. So that's 3x. What multiplies to give me 12 and adds to give me 7? Plus 4 and x plus 3. Then I have to slide the 6 back under. Now, make sure you have to reduce this fraction. You see that 4/6? The answer is not 6x plus 4. You have to reduce it. So that gives me x plus 2/3 and x plus 1/2. Reducing that, I get 3x plus 2, and 2x plus 1. On your test, you're going to have probably 5 or 6 problems that are factoring it, and they're worth 5 points each. So if you can't factor, you might as well minus 25 points right off the top of your test. Shave it off. All right, now we're going to look at number 11. This also has a GCF of 3. So I'm going to take out a 3. That leaves me with x to the 4th minus 2x squared minus 8. Now I need to multiply to give me 8 and add to give me 2. That is 4 times 2. So watch this. I'm going to take the squared and put half there and half there. My signs have to be different, so 1 plus and 1 minus. The 4 has to go with the negative to make the 2 negative, and then the 2 goes with the positive. But wait, there's more. I can't stop with this x squared minus 4. I have to go again because it's even exponents with a subtraction. So your final answer should be 3x squared plus 2, x plus 2, and x minus 2. What's the next problem I told y'all we were going to do? 15, that's at the top. Yep, 15's at the top. Definitely on the retake if you're retaking. Okay, this is a perfect square trinomial. I lost it. Perfect square trinomial. So 16 changes to what? How about 4x, because you have to take the square root. And then the 25 changes to the number 5, and then that's squared. Okay, what is one side is going to be 4x plus 5, and what is all 4 sides? You have to multiply it by 4. That gives me 16x plus, whoa, what is that business? 16x plus 20. Then I have to take the 2. This is the perimeter for the piece of the fabric. Oh my goodness, stop that. Then I have to take the 2. So 16 times 2 plus 20 is what number? 52. Number 19, the correct answer is 142 feet. If you got it right. The way you find that is you have to take, you have to take the 3 and plug it in for t here and here. So that's negative 16 times 3 squared plus 86 times 3 plus 28. Now, are y'all putting that whole thing in the calculator just like that? Yes. Okay, don't put it on different pieces. Like put the whole thing in the calculator. Now, wait, that's not the vertex. That's how high it is after 3 seconds. Okay, I've plugged my problem into my calculator, and I'm looking for the vertex. Look at these right here. Can you see how it goes? 13, 4, 1, 4. What do you think the next number is? 13. Well, the vertex is right here, negative 1, 1. Okay, so let's go back here, and my vertex is negative 1, 1. What is the axis of symmetry?
It is negative 1.
But you can't just write negative 1. If it's x equals, I will count off a point for that. My zeros, go back to your calculator. I don't see any. Now, is it because I don't see any that there's none? No, because it's at negative 1, 1, negative 1, 1, and it opens up. So right here, the zeros, there are none. Now, that could be on your test. Your y-intercept is what number? 4. Now, it did not ask me to graph that, so I don't have to graph that. All right, now we're going on to number 27. You need to find the axis of symmetry. Y'all make sure you know everything you have to do. Now, on the test, it's actually going to have blanks for you to list everything out. Then we have to find the vertex. Then we have to name the roots, which is another name for what? Zeros or x-intercepts. Then we have to find the y-intercept, the domain, and the range. We have to do all of that. This is going to take a while. Be patient. Join me. All right, we've all put this in our calculator. This is what it looks like when I put it in my calculator. This, I do not see a pattern at all. I do notice that it goes low and then it gets bigger and then goes back down and back down. But do you see how you can't tell exactly what the maximum is? So therefore, my calculator is not going to help me. I'm going to have to do the formula for the vertex. That's negative b over 2a. Negative b. So if b is 1, that's negative 1 over 2 times negative 3. Now, if you go to your calculator, all right, so this is me typing it in the calculator, and I get 1/6. So my what is 1/6? My axis of symmetry. How do I write that? I would hate to say your name on the video right now. X equals 1/6. Now, I have to take my 1/6 and plug it in to find the second part. Yes, you have one like this on your test, just like this. All right, so I've typed in, plugging in the 1/6, and when I hit enter, it gives me negative 35 over 12. How do I make that a decimal? Control enter. Negative 2.92 when I round it. Now I can go back to my problem, and that's going to be negative 35 over 12. But I'm just going to make a note that that's negative 2.92. All right, so go to your graph, and at 1/6, which is really, really, really close to the y-axis, we're going to put a dotted line. Okay, so that's the axis of symmetry. Then I need to go down to 1/6, negative 2.92, which is about right there, and put a dot. That's the vertex. On the test, you are going to have to label all of these different things. Like you would say, axis of symmetry, x equals 1/6. Vertex, 1/6, negative 35 over 12. Okay? Now, what's the y-intercept?
3.
Negative 3. So I'm going to put a dot right here. My y-intercept is negative 3. I can copy that across. Now, that's not exact. I'm really estimating it's across the axis of symmetry, and it's negative 3. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my calculator. And on my calculator, I need to look at my table. And I need 2 more dots that I can put on my graph. So tell me, how about negative 1, negative 7? Does that work? So on my graph, I'm going to put negative 1, negative 7. Oh, well, I can make it just down here at the bottom. Okay, is there another one on the calculator that would be nice? How about 1, negative 5? Okay, there we go. We have 5 dots. You have to have 5 dots. To find the domain, it's always going to be what for these problems? All real numbers. So my domain is all real numbers. My range is the lowest, which is negative infinity, to the maximum. What is the y value of the vertex? Negative, it is. The y value of the vertex is negative 2.92. So my range is going to be from negative 2.92 to what? I just did that backwards. Bad teacher. No, he hasn't been to English. Be quiet. So it's really negative infinity, comma, negative 2.92. Bracket. So repeat. Number 31, the roots. Give me other words for roots. Zeros. X-intercepts. Solutions. Good. So my solution right here is negative 2 and 6. Do I write that as a point? No, you just write it with a comma or an and sign.